Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan. This is Rooftop Rant number 2, and today we're going to be going over a little bit of a recap from last week, really almost more of a retake from last week because of a couple different things. I was looking at some of the footage from last week and I realized that the message that I provided, while it was all mostly accurate, it wasn't really authentic and it didn't really say everything that I wanted to say as far as the mission and vision behind this YouTube channel. So I wanted to go into that, and then I also, as I was thinking about the first topic that I said that we were going to discuss, spurt productivity, I realized that that's not really a good starting point. That's kind of secondary as we go through some of these topics. I mentioned some differences and some changes that we're going to be making, which include a little bit longer video. As I was thinking about the subject matter that we're going to be talking about, I really feel like it's important to not skip over stuff, and it's also going to be important to provide some application tips so that we aren't just talking about an issue, but I'm also leaving you with some concrete steps that you can take right away to apply to your life to make you more effective on a daily basis, accomplishing your goals, and just being that one step closer to your dreams. So as I was thinking about this as well, I realized that I learn from people. I'm a visual learner, but I learn from people sometimes more by discovering what I don't want to do as a result of what I'm hearing from them, just as much as it is me wanting to emulate them. So whether I'm tuning into a motivational speaker or someone who's bringing an inspiring message, sometimes my key takeaways are things that I don't want to do. And I think that's really what kind of brings all this together. These videos, these rants, are for you and me to understand some of the issues, some of the struggles that I've had, some of the growing processes I've either had or I'm still going through, and provide solutions so that you can see this and possibly take something away that will help you to avoid some of the struggles that I've had and really shortcut your growth process as you pursue your dreams. So that is something that really became crystallized in my mind as I watched last week's video. I didn't feel like I addressed that in a clear enough fashion. Now, before we get started on the body of this video, I want to talk about one more thing that I don't feel like was adequately covered in last week's video, the roof, the most major part of this entire show. The rooftop is less about getting somewhere that's difficult and more symbolism about reaching for new heights, overcoming fears, getting an obstacle and tackling it. And then once you're on that rooftop, once you are accomplished, once you've made it, once you're successful, you turn around and you share that knowledge with other people. Now, by no means have I made it entirely. I am in a learning process, I'm in a growth process, and I'm hoping that these videos are going to be able to give you something and give you some tools to help you be more successful. You know, I feel like it is 100% possible for us all to accomplish our dreams. Now, by no means do I feel like I've made it, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm going to stand up here and give you all of the answers, but what I do know is that I'm going to relate some of the successes that I've had, some of the growing pains that I've had, and some of the things that I've used to personally achieve success in my own life. Now, that is really what this channel is all about. You know, taking things that are roadblocks to us being successful in our lives, breaking those down, some life hacks, will you, about how to tackle some of these issues so that we can all be more successful. And a lot of this, and really, I believe, the base layer for being successful and accomplishing our goals in the quickest way possible and to shortcut a lot of what may be a painful growing process is to be self-aware. Now, while that may not make it to the top of many people's lists as far as the things that you need to do to be able to be successful, you know, maybe other people would say passion, drive, discipline. While all of those features, those characteristics that I just mentioned are important, self-awareness really helps short circuit your entire growth process and allows you to get and start tackling real issues instead of possibly putting yourself in a position where you have a lot of extra obstacles to overcome. Now, I know this because in my life, many obstacles that I had to face and overcome were as a result of my lack of self-awareness, my lack of understanding who I was, what I brought to the table, and how I could most quickly make a difference and bring value to not only my life, but the lives of the people that were around me. So today, we're going to talk about a couple things that can help improve your self-awareness. We're going to have an instant application tip that right away will help you be more self-aware as you go about your day and as you work towards your goals. All right, my 3 tips for boosting self-awareness are daily tips. There's 3 tips that are things that you can do on a daily basis. Maybe number 2 is something you want to do on a less frequent basis, but these are daily things that you can include in your schedule to help boost your self-awareness. And then we do have a quick application tip at the very end. The first one is spend quiet time. Now this is tricky because oftentimes it's tough with the distractions that are in our lives to be able to get some time alone, separate yourself from all the noise and the commotion of our daily lives, and take that time for yourself to have personal time, have time to think, have time to read, have time to meditate, have time to think about what's going on in your life. But this is probably one of the most important ones, and one of the points that has really helped me the most in being more self-aware and being more effective in my day. Now, number 2 is to seek feedback from people that you trust. Now, this is a tricky one too, but it is important to go find someone who you trust, who's given you good advice in the past. Maybe it's a relative, maybe it's a friend, really just someone you trust, who you know has your best interests at heart and who you can rely on. And you're gonna ask them about your skills and abilities. You're gonna ask them what they think your strengths and weaknesses are. And oftentimes this person's objective opinion of you will help you get a better perspective on who you are and overall help you be more self-aware, or at least highlight some issues that you may not have been aware of before in your life. The third and final point for increasing self-awareness is to recap your life story. Now this one's tough. I think that this one's probably the most challenging one for not only myself, but for people in general, because it requires a lot of personal responsibility. And so often it's tough for us to take personal responsibility. It's way easier, it's way more comfortable for us to write off our lack of success or our maybe just the problems that we have in life, and to write those off on someone else, to say that I wasn't afforded these opportunities, or this person did this bad thing to me. What's important to understand is that where we are in life, exactly where we are in life, were as a result of choices that we made, either choices to do something or choices to not do something. And we have total control over that. It might sound like a circle, but the control stems from our ability to make a choice. It's not just about someone who did something to you, but it's about how you responded to that thing happening. And over the course of years and years, our choices, things that we choose, things we don't choose, our habits that we get into, and the things that we make a priority are the things that overall change our life for the better or for worse. And so it's this point of recapping our life and mentally thinking about the choices that led us to the point that we're at right today, right now, that really help boost self-awareness. This takes a lot of honesty with yourself. It's really easy to lie to others, but I think it's almost easier to lie to yourself, to tell yourself stories of why you don't have the things that you want, or why you aren't able to do some of the things that you want. It's less about all of the outside influences, all of the outside noise, all of the outside pressure, and more about your personal choice of how to handle that. It's that realization that you do have the control, you do have the power, and it's the understanding that as you look at your life, realizing maybe where you dropped the ball for yourself, and having an honest understanding of where that was, and making a determination to not have that again, taking back control over your life, being more self-aware, and having that as the pattern of how you live your life. This is something that I feel like is at the core of being more successful, and at the core of really all of these issues that we're going to be talking about. As we get on to other videos, we're going to be talking about specific life hacks for things to be more productive, or how to maybe have a more productive morning, let's just say, or waste less time, or accomplish a project quicker. But at the root of all of this, it's important to have a basic self-awareness, a basic understanding of who you are as a person, and to understand that it's your choices, it's your ability to be honest with yourself about where you got to, or the choices that you made that led you to this point right now in your life, so that you can go ahead and make better choices and leverage some of these tips and tools that we're going to be talking about to ultimately be more successful. So if this video can impact just one person, and I can learn this obviously as we go along too, you know, I will have totally felt satisfied that this matters, that this has made a difference in someone's life. And I hope that if you feel like this video has added value to your life, if there's something that you picked up that you liked, I would love if you liked it. If you have questions, please comment down in the little area right below. Follow me, Facebook, Instagram. The links are down below in the description as well. And stay tuned to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. We're going to be going over new content every single week. And then, of course, we're going to have the Facebook Live at 5 every single Wednesday. And this is going to be that touch point where you can come and we can kind of have a bit more of a dialogue. You can type your questions maybe, or your disagreements about the mindset that you might have about it, about personal choice or about how others impact your life, and we can have that discussion. So in any case, check me out tomorrow on Facebook Live. Again, all the links are down below in the descriptions. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow.